Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Ann Emanuel. The UAW is on strike after a midnight deadline came and went without a deal with Detroit's Big Three car makers. Union factory workers refused to show up at a select number of factories. As Doug Luzader reports, this may have far-reaching economic and political impacts.
Everything depends on how long this strike lasts, and based on the tactics we've seen already, auto workers are in for the long haul here.
We are the union! We are the union!
It didn't take long for the picket lines to pop up.
It was pretty crazy, wild. This is like history, so I'm proud to be here.
As the midnight deadline approached, the UAW and its new aggressive president made good on what has emerged as a limited strike plan for now.
Tonight, for the first time in our history, we will strike all three of the Big Three at once.
Hitting all three, but in a limited way, choosing plants in 3 states, Michigan, Ohio, and Missouri. And while that affects each automaker, it's just one plant each, which also helps preserve the union's strike fund for a prolonged battle. Car makers say they just can't survive if they meet the union's demands for massive pay hikes, shorter work weeks, and a return to traditional pension plans.
There's no way we can pay people $300,000 to work 4-day work weeks. We would have lost $15 billion and closed, most of our plants in the last couple of years. That's not a future.
We're living through one of the greatest job creation periods in our history.
And the timing is awkward for the Biden administration, with the president just yesterday touting jobs creation. He's reached out to the union and to company leaders, but if anything, both sides may be digging in their heels.
This is our generation's defining moment. The money is there, the cause is righteous, the world is watching, and the UAW is ready to stand up. This is our defining moment.
Now, so far, this strike involves about 13,000 of the union's 146,000 members. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
If you love hockey and have a great speaking voice, the Elmira River Sharks are looking for you. The River Sharks have taken to social media to advertise for a new in-house PA announcer and a new MC in the stands. The team is looking for someone with a lot of energy who loves being in front of a crowd. If you're interested, you can show up at Fandemonium on Wednesday evening, September 20th, between 6 and 7:30. Ninth graders from Broadway Academy joined the Chemung County Habitat for Humanity and the City of Elmira today for a community cleanup. The students helped with landscaping, litter pickup, along with some painting and repairs in the 1st and 2nd districts of Elmira. Today's cleanup was supported by the Cities Rise grant program. Cities Rise is a group that focuses on mental health and community transformation. The Horsehead Community Animal Shelter is going on the road tomorrow for an adoption event in Painted Post. Some adoptable dogs will be at the Tractor Supply in Painted Post from 11 until 3 tomorrow. The shelter will also have information on all its available animals and some volunteer opportunities. The adoption event in Painted Post is all part of Pet Appreciation Week. A first-of-its-kind event is scheduled to take place tomorrow in West Elmira. The inaugural Multicultural Festival of Elmira will be held from noon until 5 tomorrow at Gibson Park. The event will include live music, food trucks, activities for kids, community art, and more. The idea behind the festival is to bring the community together. It is free and open to everyone. Transit officials and police in New York are searching for the vandal or vandals who smashed nearly 78 windows on dozens of subway train cars. Lizette Nunez has more.
The MTA releasing this video and pictures of smashed and shattered train windows after several trains were vandalized late last night and into this morning, and causing service to be suspended on the W line.
That's definitely a statement. I don't know why, but maybe that's why the R has been really annoying. I commute at night, so the R is awful. So we have to take the N, and it's local all the way, so maybe that's what's all the backups.
We are aware of upwards of 78 windows that were shattered and attached to
upwards of 36 trains.
Investigators say the damage is believed to have been done from the inside of the train cars. It's unclear whether the trains were in service when the vandalism took place. MTA officials expressing outrage as damages and repairs are estimated to cost $500,000.
It might seem like a prank, or I don't know what is in the mindset of these criminals, but it sure as hell ain't helping us deliver service for New Yorkers.
The biggest challenge has been finding enough windows to make repairs.
We are literally have exhausted, depending on the fleet class, the number of windows in our supply, and are now stealing windows off of cars that are in our train yard.
Investigators have not taken anyone in custody, but say they are confident surveillance video and tips from the public will lead to an arrest soon, sending this stern warning to those behind the vandalism.
When caught, you will be arrested and you're going to be facing felony charges.
Turning now to politics, and the president's son, Hunter Biden, has been indicted on gun charges, but his attorneys are already playing defense. Rebecca Castor has more from Washington.
Hunter Biden is facing 3 charges related to unlawful possession of a firearm while using narcotics. It's the next step in a long-running investigation into the president's son. President Biden staying silent on his son's legal troubles after giving a speech at a Maryland community college Thursday. The younger Biden could face trial just as his dad is heading into the 2024 election.
I think folks may want to politicize it, but if anything, an indictment is a demonstration that our judicial process is proceeding.
But critics say it's the Justice Department that's stalling the investigation into the then vice president's involvement in his son's business dealings, prompting an impeachment inquiry.
We can now go look at some of the bank records and follow the dollars. I think most people want to know where the dollars flowed. We want to see if the dollars got to Joe, and so we can uncover the depths of this corruption.
The indictment charging Hunter Biden with lying when filling out a gun form, lying to the seller when purchasing a gun, and possessing a firearm while unlawfully using illegal substances, comes after a plea deal with prosecutors fell apart in July. If convicted on all 3 counts, Biden faces a maximum of 25 years in prison. But his attorneys maintain he did not violate the law. Instead, they're blaming, quote, MAGA Republicans and a prosecutor bending to political pressure. Thursday's charges are unlikely the last. The special counsel investigating Biden is also expected to bring misdemeanor tax charges against him. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
It's shaping up to be a beautiful weekend. We'll find out more next in our complete forecast. Plus this.
If social media is a fake world, why are real photographs more popular? I'm Eben Brown in Miami. I'll have that story straight ahead.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm meteorologist Sam Ryan. Beautiful shot here of Syracuse. Of course, this camera's looking off to the west, to the east. Well, we've got some more clouds building in. Past 5 days, looking at our high temperatures, we saw those up to 81 on Tuesday. Looking back through the week, 70 here on Friday. And so been pretty departure from average, not 70 degrees. Been pretty seasonable. It's been a nice afternoon. Now we're on the outer edge of Hurricane Lee. Passing by as an extratropical cyclone heading up to the north. And we'll see big impacts here through the overnight. But it's rip-roaring through the area heading up towards Nova Scotia. High builds in. We'll actually have a pleasant weekend in store for us. Might notice out the door a little light touch of wind out of the north. And that's, again, on the northwestern edge here of Hurricane Lee. So we have another system, though, moving in from the west, separate from Lee. That's why I kind of pointed western system. And that begins on Sunday. This little wave moves in kind of from the southwest. With frontal boundary, we'll get a chance at a few showers from that, separate from Lee. Lee will just have some passing clouds as we look at the forecast track here heading into Saturday. You see there it is pushing into Nova Scotia as an extratropical cyclone. And so it's a little bit too far away for any impacts directly here. Maybe just some high clouds from time to time. Chance of some overnight fog heading out the door our Saturday morning. Again, we'll have that potential again for Sunday morning with that high pressure overhead. Showing you the big picture here with our forecast map. There's Lee pushing away. High pressure nudges in here in between two systems. Next one moves in from the west. A little wave. It's going to track up this frontal boundary and catch up with Lee eventually. And we'll see a chance at a few showers here again Sunday and into Monday. Isolated. Not expecting anything heavy. 40 degrees out the door with that chance of patchy fog outside. Winds light out of the north. Not much movement there. So a cool start to the day, but more sunshine. By noon, we should be around 65, and by 5 o'clock, 72 degrees. Winds out of the north at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. A beautiful afternoon, seasonable. Average high is 75, will be around 74 degrees. Sunrise, 6:48, sunset at 7:15 p.m. So we're looking at 12 hours and 27 minutes of daylight. We are losing just almost 2 3/4 of a minute. So getting up there, I guess. 72 degrees for a high temperature Sunday with that system moving in and chance of an isolated shower along with that. Continuing into the day on Monday, but then high builds in back in behind that. 73 here Tuesday and warming up nicely towards the middle part of the week. We've got mid to upper 70s. Kicking things off Wednesday all the way through Friday. A nice stretch of weather.